What a headshot! What a head!
How's it, guys? This is Dayvy, FPL, and welcome back to the Fantasy Premier League video here on my channel. Now in this video, I'll be taking you through my very own transfer plan for the upcoming Game Week 35. So unfortunately, those doubles and blanks for the time being have come to an end, but there might be an announcement shortly detailing upcoming doubles and blanks, which could add a bit of spice to the last few game weeks of the season. So we have arrived at Game Week 35, only 4 game weeks left of this Premier League season, so it might be time to take a look at some potential differentials to help boost us up those ranks. So that's exactly what we'll be doing in this video. I'll be detailing my transfer plan for the upcoming Game Week 35, but quickly before that, a review of Game Week 34's blank and how the game week is actually gone. So as you guys know, we're on the free hit. Is that going to be a massive dub or a massive L? I'll showcase how many points I scored as well as what the overall rank is looking like. So if that's something you guys are interested in, sit back, relax, and let's get straight into it. So blank Game Week 34's team review as of now. Just a reminder, we still do have one fixture coming up. That's going to be Nottingham Forest travelling to Brentford. And I think those players are pretty popular on those no free hit drafts. I think as always, Mbeumo is going to be a popular selection even on some free hit drafts. I saw him in quite a few. So just remember, this overall rank will be coming down as that fixture is concluded. But at the moment, we have scored a total of 88 points as well as a green arrow to 46k. That rank will go down though, but I hope that we stay within the top 50k. I do think though, the majority of people on the free hit, this was going to be a massive game week for us. You guys can let me know in the comments down below how many points did you guys score. I've even seen some top 100 club scores. There were a few 50-50s, but it seems like the majority of us were on the right side of those. So let's go over which players are selected in my free hit. Now on the bench this week, at least Konate ended up blanking because if he didn't, I was basically guaranteed to bench an Mbeumo haul. But after Konate's blank, I guess it's only Jose Sa and Sessegnon with the double-digit returns. Let's see what Mbeumo does produce. I'm kind of regretting not going for him after a lot of my midfielders ended up blanking. But I decided to go against the Nottingham Forest fixture because it might be slightly boring. At least in terms of predictions, I can't see many goals coming out of this fixture, but let's see what happens on Thursday. But as you guys can see, this is the reason why your bench on a free hit never looks great. Jose Sa with the penalty save plus a clean sheet, and Sessegnon with a last minute goal. That also propelled him up those bonus points for getting the game winner, and that's why he ended up on a massive 11-pointer. I'm not regretting though benching these players. The bench is simply here in case our starting 11 doesn't feature, but after seeing some of these scores, I wish maybe there was some rotation in my starting 11. Now the goalkeeper of choice I went for was going to be pretty boring. It was actually Nick Pope doubled up on that Newcastle defense, which in terms of going for one of the midfielders, the double up in defense was slightly better. The only thing that makes Nick Pope slightly worse though is the fact that the other options such as a Jose Sa or a Sanchez from Chelsea outperformed him, but at least he racked up the clean sheet in that Ipswich game. The defensive department definitely carried the majority of our free hitters, as you guys can see Aït-Nouri with an 11-pointer. That first goal literally magic, Aït-Nouri assist and a Cunha goal. He was a lock-in in our free hit drafts as well as kind of a template player with that great fixture. Always nice to see those kind of come into the points. Our star defender though was definitely going to be Trippier from Newcastle. There was some speculation about should you actually go for him with the minutes not being secure, but I thought that he would get the majority and at least rack up the clean sheet. What ends up happening, he gets 2 assists in this fixture plus bonus points, ending on a massive 15-pointer. Definitely happy that I went for the double up in defense now, not just Nick Pope, but if you did go for Sessegnon, it was only 4 points difference. I do really wish that I went for Sessegnon instead of Cucurella, who only got the 6-pointer, but what I will add is he did have a few chances and one big chance missed. So I guess what could have been in this fixture, at least they got the clean sheet. Doesn't look too good though, with an 11-pointer on the bench. I've seen literally some teams out there with Jose Sa in the keeper position, and instead of Cucurella you have Sessegnon. That's just a bunch of points and congrats on that one. Quite ridiculous how all of the good defensive options ended up returning. Were there any of you out there that went for the big at the back draft? Now midfield department, slightly less exciting. We have Mo Salah, who got a great goal plus a bonus point, taking him to an 8-pointer. So not much in it between him and Isaac, the second best option, only a 2-point difference. At least with Liverpool, we did have some coverage there with Luis Diaz, 5 goals scored. A little bit disappointed that we only had 2 attacking returns, but I was just happy to see Luis Diaz have a tap-in goal as that secured the points. Quite tough though in a 5-1 victory to get bonus points, so unfortunately Luis Diaz didn't get there. There was some disappointment though in the free hit. It wasn't all sunshine and rainbows. Unfortunately, Kluivert, almost our differential punt in the midfield, ended up blanking. Also got a yellow card subbed for the 2-pointer. Now I guess if he wasn't going to do anything from when he was subbed off to the end of the game, I would have taken the extra point, as United ended up scoring in the 96th minute. So at least Kluivert got that extra clean sheet point, but I was hoping for more. And the same could be said about Cole Palmer. Now I mentioned this on my deadline stream, he was quite a controversial punt. I'm pretty sure the comments will be loaded with why did you pick Cole Palmer? But similar to Kluivert, it's just the fact that he was on so many set pieces and penalties, so quite a few avenues for points. Also thought with Tarkowski out, maybe Chelsea would score a few more goals. End of the day though, only the 3-pointer. I can't really say which other players I would have gone for in the midfield department though. I was looking at Iwobi, but he only got 1 assist. Where this game week will be pretty bad is if Mbeumo goes and scores a massive haul, as he was probably my second favorite replacement for someone like a Kluivert. For Bournemouth, our old friend Semenyo ended up scoring, just kind of classic FPL that he's the Bournemouth player that ends up doing well. And then obviously Evan Nielsen with an assist plus a red card. But these 2 options, pretty sad that none of them ended up performing, but as mentioned, not many midfielders were that great. Unless you went out of the box for someone like a Bowen, he also did pretty well. Now forward line, Isaac, the second highest Campsey option, was going to only get 1 goal for a 6-pointer. But in this game, I think he missed 2 or 3 big chances. Just seems like towards the end of the season, his finishing hasn't been as good as we have expected it. So quite unlucky there if you guys did end up with the Campsey armband on the Swedish striker. Cunha though, our star performer of our attacking department with a 15-pointer. There was speculation about his expected minutes. I was happy that I went for him. I think it was just that quote from the Wolves manager in the embargo section that said that they expect Cunha to be a player for the last 5 games. Kind of cemented the fact that he was going to contribute to this attacking outlet. Was I expecting a 15-pointer? Probably not. If I was, I would have gone for the captaincy option. But I did see some people go differential for someone like a Strand Larsen, and I guess that didn't work out completely. What also didn't work out completely was going to be Raul Jimenez in our forward department. Got a yellow card, a blank for a 1-pointer. So very disappointing, especially if someone like a Chris Wood ends up doing well. I guess we'll have to see what happens on Thursday evening. But I don't want to end the team review on a bad note, but I guess we had to with Raul Jimenez. Overall pretty happy with the 88 points and the rank rise. Let me know how your game week went. Was it a great week, a bad week? Were you on the free hit? If you weren't on the free hit, how's that team looking so far? As mentioned though, I'm expecting this rank to drop quite a bit after Thursday's fixture. That will be the last chip used though for the rest of the Premier League season. So from now till game week 38, it's basically trying to hold rank. Now before we go over my actual transfer plan, I want to go over my current team selection, just give you guys a refresher what the team looks like after the free hit. I do have 1 free transfer and 1.8 in the bank to make a move though. Now the bench this week, there could be some rotation. I'll explain my logic behind benching the Newcastle options, as that might be quite a surprise. But at the moment it's Verbruggen, Murphy, Byrne plus Williams. Now fully expecting that this bench could be actually quite strong this week, so there might be some rotation. You guys can let me know in the comments down below if you would play any of my benched options. Now I'll be going for Martinez between the sticks. I do own quite a few Newcastle attackers, so I kind of think Verbruggen will concede in this one. And I just hope that Martinez keeps the clean sheet. Now at least Aston Villa do have something to play for still with those European spots. And not being in the Champions League, hopefully no rotation here. Then in our backline, Guardiola scored in the FA Cup semi-final. Just wish he did it in one of the Premier League games. But he has a great fixture coming up against Wolves at home. Where the problems do lie is going to be these Arsenal options. Bournemouth at home isn't even that great of a fixture, but they are playing in the Champions League. And that kicks off this midweek and as well as next midweek. So yes, that's right, the Champions League football is either side of game week 35, and therefore I'm expecting some heavy rotation in this one. To make matters worse, the Premier League has already been wrapped up. I'm pretty sure Arsenal will get top 5, so nothing much more to play for there. So that's why I can actually see Dan Byrne, Williams coming off the bench. I'm just going to play them and hope that the Arsenal defenders do start. Then in our midfield department, Salah is a mainstay, but Saka might have some rotation. Probably one of the most rotation-prone players with the Champions League. So Jacob Murphy could be coming off the bench for Saka, but also I'm going to play Eze and Son and just hope they do well. As I'm not starting that Nottingham Forest defense, I hope they wipe out the clean sheet. I also didn't want to choose between who to bench between Eze and Son, so I just benched Murphy. What would you guys do in my situation? But as mentioned, Saka probably the biggest concern and where I'm looking to use a transfer out. Just don't think he starts in GameWeek 35. Then our front line, we've got Isaac against Brighton, that's a great fixture, potentially a Campsey option, but currently got it on Mamouche against Wolves at home. I just kind of feel like that might be the best fixture out of my current team, also probably nailed to start in that Man City front line. The last player, Mateta, has had some kind of rotation concerns, so I'm a bit worried about where he might be playing against Forest, but he should be starting this one and hopefully gets the majority of minutes. Nottingham Forest though is a very tough fixture, but as mentioned I was hoping that Crystal Palace do score, but might also be a player on the way out if he doesn't have good fixtures. So I do think this team is kind of playable, at least we have some deep bench coverage here for Saka, Kiwior as well as Saliba, as we might actually be needing them for GameWeek 35. Now my transfer plan for GameWeek 35, the first thing I want to talk to you guys about is please just wait for any announcements, as you probably will be getting an announcement for double GameWeek 36 and blank GameWeek 37. So if you guys don't know, because Man City and Crystal Palace did win their fixture, there might be a few blanks coming up in GameWeek 37. Now those blanks might move to GameWeek 36 or they might just be moved to a midweek and not be a blank. There's a bit of kind of ambiguity at the moment. Now because the game weeks are so close together, we will be probably getting an announcement before that GameWeek 35 deadline, so please hold off on those transfers for the time being. The reason for that is just imagine that instead of going for a double GameWeek 36 player, you go for a blank GameWeek 37 player. There's even been some fixture requests according to the other European competitions. So just quickly, Spurs requested a move of fixture, Aston Villa have also written to reject that move, so who knows what's going to happen with the fixture schedule from now to the end of the season. So moral of the story, just wait for those transfers, you guys can put a few plans together, but don't activate them, and if you do get any news, don't worry, I'll be releasing a video covering that. But my planned transfer, if we do ignore any information coming up with the doubles, the most likely player entering my team will be Mbeumo from Brentford. Now we spoke about that potential rotation for Arsenal, it's the exact same with United between the European semi-finals. So Mbeumo will be facing a heavily rotated United team and then Ipswich. Might even be a Campsey shout if you guys do want to go there for GameWeek 35, and the most obvious replacement is going to be Saka with that rotation. Even if he starts this one, Bournemouth's not the best fixture, and then it's Liverpool, Newcastle the weeks after, and we could always bring him back in for GameWeek 38 when he has Southampton away. Now I won't be activating this move for the previously mentioned potential double GameWeek 36 drop, so don't do anything at the time now, just wait and see. As mentioned though, we'll be releasing more videos when that news does get dropped. Make sure those notifications are on for YouTube, so that you guys get notified when I do upload a video and when I do go live for the deadline streams. Also join our Discord server, link in the description for any questions. Hopefully I see you guys over there. But this is basically a wrap video guys, hope you guys did enjoy it. Please don't forget to like it and subscribe if you have subscribed yet. Tons of content still to come up, so make sure those notifications are turned on. But for the time being, I'm signing off. It's been Dayvy FPL, and I'm out. Cheers, bye.